Hello and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for, Tuesday, June the 11th. My name is Eric Wlkinson. Yeah, you may recognize me as the Wolfman. I'm here to teach you some different option strategies you can implement into your portfolios, but please do that in your own way. Also remember, past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, having that out of the way, let's get on with our economic data. We got the NFIB Small Business Index. It's the National Federation of Independent Businesses. It's a gauge of the small business owner and their outlook on the overall economy. And it came in at 105, even expected to be 102.3, so better than expected there. Now, we've been seeing some economic data points that are a little bit iffy, but these small business indexes are pretty key, despite the fact that it's not one of the main numbers most people look at. I like to look at it because, why? It's velocity of money. We've talked about this time and time again, right? These small businesses are the ones that actually create the velocity of money. Well, you and I as retailers going and spending at the small business is what creates that velocity of money, because then they go out and buy from their prospective businesses that they like to go to, for the most part, whether or not they need a restock or they just go out and buy a cup of coffee somewhere. All right, so that is a good reading. We got core PPI, which is producer price index, coming in at 0.2%. Remember, PPI is producer price index, and we usually look at the Institute for Supply Management for the main reading on this, so it's not as market moving as the ISM would be. And then we've got the tip economic optimism came in at 53.2, which is lower than he expected, 59.2, but it's still above 50, which is a good thing. All right, that's about it for economic data today. Tomorrow we get some CPI numbers and we get the crude oil inventories. CPI is tomorrow, and then that's about it for the rest of the week. We don't get a whole lot of great economic data this year, or this week, I should say. But tomorrow being the one day we get to look forward to. All right, crude oil, right back down to that $53 a barrel, 53.37, 36-ish area. We're talking about that as being the point of control. Now that we're there, we probably see this settle down for at least a week or so. Tomorrow's economic data point on crude oil inventories could be the thing that moves, but I don't expect it to move this market today. I think it's going to be relatively quiet. All right, now the gold here. We were talking about gold in the past where we thought, or I thought, I don't know if you guys thought, but at least I thought that we were going to break down below this 1322 Fibonacci area. Today we went down and tested it, but we did come up a little bit short, as you can see right here, coming down to this Fibonacci right here, the 78 Fibonacci that we've been talking about. It did come down and tested that. Now, I was expecting us to kind of peel through that a little bit more than what we're seeing here, but this setup right here is making it look like the support here has held. If it holds with this market tomorrow, we look at a doji, it's going to look like it's confirmation if we get that kind of move like that to the upside. That's going to break my theory on us breaking down. I thought that we were going to break below this support level here and start peeling back down, but this is acting as a support right there at 1322. All right, so keep your eyes on that. We break below, settlement below that, I think we'll move back down to the point of control, break that 1300 area, which is going to act as a psychological level, but I think that that needs to be tested. I don't think that we're going to see the new highs in gold or any of these precious metals, because I think that the equities are going to kind of hold tight right here, and we're going to see more people pulling money out of gold and back into the equities here. All right, bonds, not really a whole lot to see. They're stuck in a range there. We got the VIX moving slightly higher by just a couple of ticks. That's despite the fact that we're seeing the markets move higher, but we can see yesterday we were talking about this, and yesterday I thought for sure with this market creating that top, you know, we got a doji at the top of a move that looks like that. That usually is a confirmation of a top, right? When we see that, but we didn't get confirmation, so we would need to see something like today, a market move like that to be confirmed. Right? That would be a confirmation of a top. Well, that didn't happen. We didn't get it. No confirmation of the top. Even if we settled below today or yesterday's low, I think that it would still be a little bit iffy on that being a topping pattern. So the me thinking we are going to roll back over is still a little bit fuzzy. We got the NASDAQ creating something that would look like one of those tops that we were looking at just previously, because then it's going to look like that. That's still a topping pattern. If we get the confirmation like that, that would be a topping, a top then. But we aren't getting confirmation. We would need to see that confirmation happen right there tomorrow in order for that to happen. But we're still looking like we're losing a little bit of momentum to the upside here in the equities. I think we're going to start seeing it roll back over. Again, yesterday, topping pattern in the mini S&Ps. We would need this to be a confirmation like that. Right now, we're not seeing that, but very close. It's starting to look like it's a little bit toppy here. Now, we end at the upper end of today's range. If we settled in and around that area, whatever it's lining up with, now that I lose my cursor, if we ended up making this a green doji where it looked like it was kind of peeling off like that, obviously, then that's a continuation pattern. Settlement below it, again, it's a little bit fuzzy on the technicals for that type of setup. But it does, to me, feel like we're losing a little bit of momentum to the upside. All right, here's the E-mini S&Ps. Overnight inventory started getting very long. You can see day session opens up, and what do? Print a new high, but yes, we sold off. We're basically getting all of these guys out. It's taken a little bit longer than normal, but we have done that. Now we're going to have to wait and see. If we start breaking below this value area, it's going to look like we might want to go down and test some of these points of controls like that happened on Friday of last week. We've also got Thursday of last week. All of those are virgin points of control that could be tested going forward, as they have not been retested yet. We've just had this bullish move, but a lot of times when we see this market roll back over, kind of following through my mantra of wanting to go back down to the major point of control for the year, it's going to hit these daily point of controls as little targets during the day session. So you can keep your eyes out for that, especially if you are just like to trade intraday for the most part. One of the things I was talking about, I'm just keeping an eye on, we had a lot of stocks that look like this where we got these topping patterns yesterday. We couldn't get above the 78 Fibonacci here. For sure, I was thinking today we were going to get confirmation, but we peeled above that, making this doji here that's, again, making it a little bit more vague. Yesterday, I was very excited for a setup for today, getting into a lot of new stocks because a lot of them had this type of topping pattern, which is, one of my weaknesses. I see something like that, I want to jump on. Good thing I didn't, because it never got confirmed and we started popping. So I'm glad I didn't on some of these. The ones that I got into yesterday are working out pretty good. Kroger trying to make a bit of a rally on me, despite the fact that it should be coming off, but we got Visa coming back. I might as well take a look at those, but we got Kroger we put on yesterday. You can see it's trying to rally back, but yesterday's topping pattern, these are the things that I was talking about getting confirmed right here. Let me get a white out right there. So that's the kind of topping pattern we were looking for, where you get the big doji like this, and then whatever color it is, we get a sell-off. Kind of rallied up to that point, which is what we've done. We rallied up to that point. We got this doji here, and then confirmation to the downside with that market. Now we've got a rally coming back today. I don't think it's basically an inside day for this. As you can see, the opening was pretty much where the close was yesterday. We're starting to rally. It's still inside yesterday's range, so more of the weaker hands that rode that nice sell-off yesterday probably trying to cover today. But I think that the overall arching theme here is that it's going to want to start peeling over. If we start migrating back to the point of control here, then I'm going to be looking to get out of this, especially if it gets above this Fibonacci here. That's going to be likely where I look to get out of that trade. And that's about it. I haven't added anything. I'm going to be looking at Lululemon later on today for earnings. We're back into the earnings season. It felt like we just got out of them, and now here we are. We've got earnings in LULU right here after the close today. So we've got high implied volatility, as you can see. It's got high IV percent. That's great for this type of strategy. You can see that's about as high as it gets on any type of earnings. And then afterwards, we get this volatility crush coming out. That's all the premiums coming out of those things. It just makes me smile thinking of that, knowing we have one day to get out of all that volatility. So I'm going to be looking to play LULU for an earnings today after the close. So follow me on Twitter at Wolfman's blog, because I'll be tweeting this out during the day, what I have done for that earnings event after the close. All right, so check that out at Pro Trader Strategies. And that's about all I got for you guys, other than if you can't take that, take it easy.